What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, YouTube right now? Yeah. Story time with Mr. Jackson, y'all. We gonna get into how they lied to us about history, part 2, y'all. And we gonna react after each video, y'all, cause I too much don't want to speak, y'all. I want to listen to myself because I didn't. I heard a little bit of some of these videos. I ain't heard the full video. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna watch it together, y'all. So enough of that. Let's get into it.
I don't know how y'all woke up this morning. I woke up upset. These crackers owe us half of this country. See, a lot of y'all are thinking that y'all ancestors just sat and took slavery, but they left a lot of y'all history out. I want you guys to search the Gullah Wars, Gullah, and the Seminoles Wars that lasted for nearly 200 years. Our ancestors wasn't just taking it. So when y'all be sitting around saying, I'm not my ancestors, y'all aren't our ancestors. Because our ancestors were rebellious. They were taking shit over. Y'all didn't know that our ancestors had their own settlements here on these lands. We got our own military forts. We were at war with these people for almost 200 years. They lied to us about everything. They told you the reason why Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation was because of the Civil War. No. John Horse and the Black Seminoles, they were tired of being at war with us for 50 years. We made them tap out. He actually signed an Emancipation Proclamation twice. And we kept on attacking their military and their soldiers until the point where we forced their hand. They had to free the slaves. They did that because the slaves were going to take this country. This is our country. They owe us this country. We built this country off of our back. I don't know if y'all don't care. Y'all don't care to know your history. The black women that we have these days, they aren't warriors like they were before. They're worried about breaking a fucking nail. They're worried about their hair sweating. These aren't the warrior women that we had before. And these aren't the warrior men that we had before. They're waking up thinking about playing the video game when our ancestors were waking up thinking about cutting people's fucking head off.
Ooh.
They owe us half of this country, y'all. Y'all need to research the Seminole Wars and the Gullah Wars. They lied to us. Our ancestors did not just take this shit. We were at war with these people all of this time. That's why they're trying to get rid of our history. They don't want us to know that. We're still supposed to be at war with them. We were at war with them since we came here. But they gave y'all niggas entertainment and all this glitz and glamour. I'm upset, man. This is supposed to be half of our country. And I'm not going to be satisfied until we get half of it back. Or all of it.
So, yo, this is crazy, y'all. So all this time, man, a lot of people been saying that it was trying to erase history because they know how we are, y'all. they say we was the first race and we going to be the last race. I'm just letting y'all know. But yeah, you already heard them. They couldn't even take it was in war. They tapped out. They let you know what kind of people we are. But we about to go ahead and get into the next one, y'all, man. Yeah, that's crazy, y'all. A lot of stuff is coming out, y'all. When all this social media stuff came out, y'all, a lot of stuff come out, y'all. So we're gonna get into the next clip. Let's get into the next clip, y'all.
I mean, imagine you go all around the world and smash up everything that other civilizations built, loot what they built, pillage, steal, even steal their ideas and their concepts and their philosophies. And then you sit on top of this mountain of stolen goods and declare yourself to be rich because of your own merit. And imagine telling this lie to your children, to your own children, to your grandchildren, generation after generation. How do you think that's going to go? You didn't invest in creating actual merit. You cheated, you lied, you stole, you brutalized. And then you tell your own people that everyone else in the world has nothing and you have everything because of how much better you are than everyone else. How long is that lie sustainable? I mean, these are people who actually have civilizations, who actually created and built and accomplished and didn't just pillage and plunder. And there's still those people today, even though you have oppressed them, there's still those same people. And you're still the way you are. I mean, a good example actually is African Americans. I don't know if you can think of a people who were more held back more deprived, more sabotaged than African Americans. You took everything away from them and took them away from everything. They started in your country at less than zero, literally regarded and treated as subhuman, not allowed to learn to read or write or anything for hundreds of years. But you see, they come from a people of accomplishment to one degree or another, not a people of piracy and theft and appropriation. They come from a people who created and built and developed in their own countries, in their own land. And even though you did everything that you could possibly do to suppress them, to hold them down, to hold them back, and you're still doing that until today, nevertheless, I don't think anyone can dispute the fact that African Americans have become a global cultural superpower. And people like this, with a history like this, with a legacy like this, simply cannot be held back for any length of time by a people who do not have a similar history, people who have never actually invested in their own civilizational development. And that's the West. You're going to get left behind. You're going to get surpassed, and you are going to end up being nothing more than a footnote in history. I mean, imagine.
That's crazy. But the part where you say, yeah, well, African American, but just like I said, if you go, we were live about history too, about it was Indians, they took this land from, we were live about that, y'all. It was it was black people, y'all. Native Americans, they were black. It was black people, y'all. It wasn't the Indians, they try to mix, I saw another video, they trying to mix Mexicans and blacks up together, and so they were trying to say it was Indians. Nah, it was black people here, y'all. At first, y'all, before they took over this land, it was black people, y'all. So that was another lie about history about black people, yo. Like, we came from Africa. No, black people was already here, y'all. But we about to get into the next video. Let's get it.
History is a lie. How did William Shakespeare, famous English poet, playwright, and actor, describe himself in the early 1600s? From the autobiography of Shakespeare, a fragment, page 57 and 58, quote, "I had some good and dear and trusty friends in London, and made merry with them for nigh to a week together. There were Ben Jonson, a witty and scholarly and a merry rogue, who was very close to my heart, and John England, an honest man, and Edward England, as honest as John, but shy and pale, and Edward Sholton, he who bought my third play, and Will Shakespeare. That was I, a small dark man with great eyes, whom the women loved not a little, but who loved them not too much, and who was not seldom called the little Jew boy, or the little Jew from the Midland counties, which made me to fume with anger, for I knew not then, as I did afterwards, that my grandfather, Thomas the Little of Utrecht in Holland, had been born a Jew." In this autobiography, Shakespeare describes himself as a small, dark man. He speaks of his younger years when he was called a Jew boy, and reflects upon this filling him with rage, because he didn't know he was actually of Jewish descent, his grandfather being a Sephardic Jew from Holland, what we call today the Netherlands. We have covered in previous videos that Jews in Europe were mostly from Spain and Portugal, and were described being very dark of complexion. This time I will provide another piece of literature pointing to this fact. From the Detroit Jewish News, Friday, December 5th, 1969. Quote, "Fascinating. Mulatto Jew's story in Marcus' new work. In 1668, Boston reported the arrival and arrest of a Jew named Solomon. He was caught in the town of Wenham, Mass, on his way to New Hampshire and Maine. His crime? He had profaned the Lord's Day by traveling on a Sunday. Who was Solomon? All we know is that he was described as a mulatto Jew. But was he actually a mulatto? The Englishmen of that day thought of the Jews as a dark-skinned people. In 1665, 3 years before Solomon was hauled before the magistrates in Wenham, a respectable Portuguese Jew on Jamaica, a landowner, was referred to as a black Jew. Tawny people were dark-skinned. Benjamin Franklin believed that most of the world was tawny, and he included in the category not only Africans, Asians, and American Indians, but also Italians, French, Russians, Swedes, and all the Germans except the Saxons. The Saxons and the English, he wrote in 1751, are the principal body of white people on the face of the earth. End quote. This newspaper makes us question our previous understanding of the word swarthy, as it says tawny people were dark-skinned. We believed, based on this definition on this etymological dictionary published in the early 1700s, that swarthy was a word used to describe a range of melanated skin tones, tawny and dusky, meaning light brown and brown, while black or dark, meaning a dark brown complexion. However, these words don't seem to be representing a spectrum. They are, in fact, synonymous. They mean the same thing, meaning a swarthy person is simply someone with a dark complexion. The amount of European monarchs and nobles described as swarthy is astonishing. We intend to make videos about all of them, so stay tuned for those. Anyway, back to Shakespeare. Shakespeare's grandfather, being a Jew from Holland, presents us with the perfect opportunity to continue the story of the Iberian black Jews after the exile. From The Jews and Moors in Spain, page 218, quote, "Many of the Portuguese Jews settled became prosperous in the Indies, in southern France, and in Hamburg. Others settled in the Netherlands and became especially prosperous in Holland. From Holland, large numbers of the descendants of the Portuguese and Spanish exiles entered England through the intercession of Manasseh ben Israel with Oliver Cromwell. We just read how William Shakespeare's grandfather, Thomas of Utrecht, was a Jew from Holland. That's why I assumed he was a Sephardi Jew, which gives more context to William Shakespeare describing himself as dark. But it still doesn't explain why he used to get angry when he was nicknamed Jew Boy. The reason being a dark-complexioned Englishman would find it very offensive if he was called a Jew simply due to complexion, because it also implied they were not Christian. The comparison doesn't make it justice because it lacks the religious component, but in our times it would be like calling a Japanese person Chinese boy, simply because they have similar phenotypes. Like and share for more lost history. And that's why we say history.
Yo. And that's not the only thing too, yo. They say Beethoven was black too, y'all. I saw a video on that too. They described Beethoven was black, y'all, and they proved it that he was black too, y'all. So like all these different people in the back in the days, Mona Lisa was black. I mean, oh my goodness, man. So they just trying to erase our history. Cleopatra was black, but they trying to make her white. Yo, this is crazy, y'all. This is crazy, y'all. We're going to go and get into the next clip, and this is going to be the last clip, man. Stay tuned and let me know in the comments, man, if y'all want to see more videos like this, y'all. Let me know in the comments, y'all, because I'm going to probably focus on this because I'm trying to find my niche for this channel. But let's get into the next scene, y'all.
The absent black father, a lie, was born, sold, and still profits, from chains to character. You heard the black stereotype. Black fathers are missing. What if I told you it's one of the longest running lies in American history, built brick by law by law? It has its roots in Reconstruction. After the Civil War, slavery was abolished, but white power structures needed a new way to control black bodies, especially black men. That's when the myth of the black brute emerged, a violent, uncontrollable male figure, a threat to the white women, white property, and white supremacy, a perfect excuse for lynching, voter suppression, and recriminalizing black existence. So began the rise of black codes, criminalizing vagrancy, lordery, or talking back, chain gangs, and convict leasing, which funneled thousands of freedmen back into forced labor, media propaganda like Birth of a Nation in 1915, which portrayed black men as rapists and savages, sparked Klan revivals and national hysteria. Let's be clear, the dangerous black man was a social fear. It was a deliberate invention designed to justify surveillance, separation, and systemic exclusion. From danger to derelict. As the 20th century progressed, white American story about black men evolved from the violent criminal to the irresponsible father. This was a PR pivot, not a progress story. Enter the Moynihan Report in 1965, where the U.S. government said the fundamental problem is family structure. That's rich considering the Jim Crow laws dismantled black wealth and community. The GI Bill excluded black vets. Public housing split families, and welfare rules forced men out of the home to qualify. It's not the black men weren't present, it's that they were systematically punished for being there. The stereotype of the absent black father replaced black brute, but kept the same function. The black people for inequality, the justified disinvestment over policing and mass incarceration to distract from the real problem, structural racism within this PR. Let's look at 2013. The CDC study again, yes, the government one. Black dads are more likely than white and Hispanic dads to eat meals with their kids, help with homework, bathe and dress their kids, read to them, and yet the myth persists. Why? Because the lie is convenient. It absolves policymakers, it fuels TV crime dramas, and it lets racism dress up like a concern for children. This isn't about missing fathers. It's about missing accountability for systems that created this myth and the receipts that prove it. It's a lie. Follow for more truths, culture buried under centuries of fear and bad headlines. Peace.
Yeah, and I believe this too, man. I believe it, especially with the white thing, yo. There's a lot of white ladies that came out when they turned like 60, 70 years old, and they said they lied about a black kid was trying to talk to them or holler at them or touch them, and they got hung. But before they died and they deathbed, they let them know that they lied. So this young boy got killed for what? Nothing. Over a lie. So I believe what he was saying, y'all. I believe what he was saying. And just like he said with the fathers in these days, most black fathers is in their kids' life. I was in all three of my kids' life. 2 of them is adults. I got 1 more left to go before he got the house. I was in all 3 of their lives. And me and my wife, we've been together for we've been together the whole time, raising our kids together, y'all. So it is good dads out there. And it is moms and dads in the house, but they trying to paint that picture that ain't is, y'all. They just show, most of the people that they show on TV that are split up, y'all, are the crazy people, and you see how they blow up, y'all. Single moms and those single, and the dads with all them kids and stuff, they be putting on TV. They ain't gonna put nothing positive about us on TV. Y'all already know that. Come on now, you know. But just like I said, if y'all want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments down below. And I see you. Peace. I'm out.